what we're looking at over here are little old filing cabinets. And if you could come in real close, you'll see the names of the streets, the neighborhood partitioned off.
The Kings had a mailing list of 32,000 names. And every week, sedulously, we had to get out 32,000 pieces of mail. The addresses were put on at the home office with, I guess, the original addressograph machines. And we had a folding machine down in the cellar that was used to fold programs. And it folded in 3 parts, and we inserted it into envelopes. And the envelopes were then segregated according to post office rules about where they were going to go. They were going all over. They were actually, some of them were going up to the Bronx because people had asked for them. Some of the people who lived 2 blocks away from the Pitkin were getting the program also. And annoyed the manager of the Pitkin, but he couldn't do much about it. And then, but they liked them. They liked to get the programs. And I think personally that getting the programs once a week always kept the Kings in front of a potential patron's eyes.
That was their way of promoting shows coming to the theater. And they sent out this free newsletter once a week. 32,000 copies were sent. They were folded by machine. They were batched and bundled with rubber bands by the ushers according to the mailing list that was kept in these little, you know. And here's an actual card. But this is not from 1929 or 35 or 38. This particular one says, Happy Felton and the Knothole Gang. Maybe some of you old Dodger fans, when you were kids, came to the Loew's Kings and got your Happy Felton Knothole Gang membership registration. The whole idea was, if you see, it's clipped together. They got one for the kid, one for mom, one for dad, and they made sure that they kept those mailings coming and had prizes and all kinds of gimmicks. And the reason for that was so we'd know the names and addresses of everybody that could come to this theater. They wanted to promote it like crazy.
Next week, back at Loew's Kings for Part 2.
This is WNBC for New York. And now, this is News for New York.
Well, once it gave pleasure not just to thousands of filmgoers, but to admirers of beautiful buildings. Tonight, there are hopes of restoring the faded glory of an abandoned movie palace in Flatbush. Julian Phillips reports.
The Loew's Kings Theater opened in September of 1929, 1 month after the stock market crash. The huge building on Flatbush Avenue was home to silent movies and the great vaudeville acts of the 20s and 30s.
The Loew's Kings is the 3rd largest theater in the entire city. Number 1 would be the Radio City Music Hall. Number 2 would be the Madison Square Garden, the new Paramount Theater.
It was a magnificent piece of architecture, creating hundreds of jobs, dreams, and lasting memories.
It was like working in a palace. And I got to see all the films for free.
Well, this great stage hasn't seen an act in years. In fact, the entire theater was shut down during the 70s. But after 13 years of neglect and devastation, there are efforts underway to bring it back to life. The theater was literally left to rot away, but Bruce Friedman got money, $1.4 million from the borough president's office for some repairs. Now the search is on for a developer.
Developers that have expressed interest and are negotiating with the city are a little gun-shy because of the money at this point.
A new theater will give a boost to this neighborhood, at least 200 jobs. But unless someone steps forward, it will remain an eyesore. It helped put Maxwell Silverman through college. It could do the same for future generations. Julian Phillips, News 4, Brooklyn.